Welcome to the Wakefield Doctrine, the theory of Clark, Scotts, and Rogers. This is a makeup video post. The reason it's a makeup video is that I did one yesterday that I liked a whole lot when I recorded it, and then when I listened to it, it turned out to be kind of badly done. But I like the challenge, and the challenge for me is simply that I am a Clark, and I'm trying to do something in what they call one take. And with practice, I suppose you get real good at it, or if you're a Scot, you're real good at it, because Scots realize the truth of this medium isn't what I say, but whether I can say it in a way that gets you to think, hey, yeah, that guy really knows what he's talking about. There's a little secret about Scots. The person, the Scot who always jumps into action at the slightest provocation or emergency, those are Scots. Scots make what most people consider, or the culture considers, natural leaders. We can think of Scots, but we won't, because that's not the topic today. Scots do that. The way they do that, and the reason people think of them as natural leaders, is that they're never uncertain. They're 100% sure of themselves, because that's the world that they live in. Scots live in a sort of an objective world. We say Clarks think, Scots act, Rogers feel. Scots simply act. They do stuff. They do it with such a certainty that observers and people watching them, kind of redundant, will interpret their certainty for being correct. They show confidence, which in most cultures, confidence is generalized to put a quality judgment on the reasoning that led up to it. And see, all of that is Clark stuff. Scots don't do that shit. They say, hey, it's a Wakefield Doctrine video post on Thursday. You're going to love this. So, now also, Jenny said she thought I was going the same way every day. And this is, in a sense, the same way every day, because this is on my way to work. And Christine out in Indiana, who is at home, I understand from the Facebook, also is a big fan of videos and traffic rules. So here we go. This is just for you, Christine. Oh my God, look. Ha. I think I'll drive twice as fast as I normally would to make up for the fact that I'm not wearing a seatbelt. Okay, so all of this is because yesterday I did a video post, and the topic drifted to the idea of the reality of the worldviews. Simply put, the doctrine has this concept of worldviews, personal reality, and that where other people, other systems look at personality types as, well, there's a selection of behaviors, there's the person's inclinations or desires or drives, all couched in terms of an individual's choice, either completely volitional or maybe subconsciously driven, but coming from the person is the source of the behaviors and the decisions that lead to the behavior. Doctrine takes a different approach. In an extreme sense, since we're on a Scotian mode today, I would say that the doctrine doesn't concern itself with the individual. It concerns itself with worldviews. The whole thing about the doctrine is that, okay, there's these three worldviews, and they're characteristic three ways: outsider, predator, herd member. Get those down, get the characteristic behaviors down, look at a person, and you can determine how that person relates themselves to the world around them. And that was my starting point yesterday. How the person relates themselves to the world. And to tie this all into today's post about Clarks is that being a Clark comes from the realization at an early age, as we all have, in my case, a realization that I was an outsider and as a young Clark. And it just simply happened that I looked around, I saw the people in my world, my life, my family, and was struck by the idea that everybody around me got along with each other, related to each other, seemed to know how to get along and be accepted by each other. Never mind how accurate it is, you know, that's not the point. We're talking about 3 to 5 year old child. And for whatever reasons, it struck me, and I said yesterday, very tellingly and cleverly, is that by the fact of my making that observation, seal the deal. We say about clocks, hey, clocks wake up in the morning, as I did this morning, and thought in terms of, okay, I got to get out of bed because the world's out there waiting for me. If you can agree or find that a reasonable statement, welcome to Clarkville. That's the nature of clocks. We think of ourselves here and the world out there. We think, just like we said earlier. So anyway, back to this 3 to 4 or 5 year old clock. You know, I looked around and I thought to myself, wait a minute, there's a difference between me and them, and it's between me and everyone else. The people I saw didn't seem to have differences between them. It was just between me and them. Differences. And then that simply led me to the conclusion that, oh shit, I must have forgotten to learn something, didn't learn something, wasn't there that day, whatever you want to say. That the step into or past the point of no return for a clock, step through that door, came when I thought it occurred to me, and my conclusion was that, shit, I don't know what everyone else knows. I better try and learn it, and then I can be a real person. And not only is that the trap of the Clark-like worldview, it's also the guarantee of failure. And you know, why not have a rationale that makes you a part of your worldview and keeps you there? Because the clock then sets out for the rest of our lives looking for information, learning shit. I don't mean we have to have skills or we have to be particularly effectively educated, but we just learn shit. We love curiosity. And that was the other point in today's post. Actually, it was a reply to Christy out in the far west on the matter of secondary aspects. And I was saying that she appears to be a Roger with a secondary Clark-like aspect. And there's a difference in the curiosity of a Clark from the curiosity of a Scott and Roger. My point was that everybody coming around here listening to this kind of thing is either a predominant Clark or has a secondary Clark-like aspect because of that curiosity. And that's what I meant by with a Clark, curiosity is simply a drive, an appetite, a need. Whereas for a Scott and a Roger, it's a means, a way to an end. So I guess I've run on long enough. Let's make sure that I'm not driving overly recklessly. I apologize, Christine. Maybe next time. Hey, we also have the Wakefield Doctrine video Friday night chat. I have this long string thing that I do when I type it out. That's kind of funny and clever and shit. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.